When people tune into reality television, they expect drama. They expect conflict, romance, and emotional chaos. What they often forget is that behind every edited scene, every dramatic pause, and every viral moment, there are real human beings living real lives. And for Emily Bieberly, life under the spotlight of 90 Day Fiancé has been anything but simple. From the moment Emily appeared on screen, viewers formed opinions, strong opinions, some sympathetic, others harsh. But as her story unfolded, one aspect of her life seemed to attract the most relentless scrutiny: her pregnancies. What began as reality TV commentary slowly evolved into something far more personal, far more invasive, and far more damaging. This is not just the story of a reality star clapping back at critics. This is a story about motherhood, public judgment, and reclaiming control over one's own narrative. Emily's journey into the 90 Day Fiancé universe began with a love story that felt almost cinematic. While traveling abroad, she met Kobe Blay, a man from Cameroon. Their connection was intense, fast, and emotional. What neither of them expected was how quickly their lives would change. Emily became pregnant, and suddenly their relationship was no longer just about love. It was about responsibility, immigration, family expectations, and survival. From the very first episodes, viewers watched Emily navigate pregnancy while preparing to bring Kobe to the United States on a K-1 visa. Cameras captured intimate moments, doctor visits, family conversations, arguments, and fears. But what the cameras didn't capture was the weight of knowing that millions of strangers would soon feel entitled to judge every single decision she made. As the show aired, social media lit up. Comment sections filled with opinions about Emily's personality, her lifestyle, and most notably, her body. Viewers commented on her weight gain, her eating habits, her emotions, and her perceived lack of independence. For many, Emily was no longer a person. She became a character, a symbol of everything they disliked. Pregnancy, for most women, is a vulnerable time. Hormones fluctuate, bodies change, emotions run high. For Emily, this already intense experience was magnified by public exposure. Every physical change became a talking point, every emotional reaction was analyzed, and every personal decision was treated as public property. Some fans claimed they were just concerned. Others were far less subtle. Words like lazy, irresponsible, and entitled were thrown around freely. But what stood out most was how often Emily's pregnancies were used as ammunition against her. Instead of empathy, she was met with judgment. Instead of understanding, she was met with ridicule. As time went on, the criticism didn't slow down. It intensified. When Emily became pregnant again, the reaction from parts of the fan base was brutal. Questions flooded in. Why would she have another child? How could she afford it? Why was she still living with her parents? Why wasn't she doing more? What these questions failed to acknowledge was context, cultural differences, family dynamics, financial realities, emotional growth. None of that fit neatly into a comment box. For a long time, Emily stayed quiet. Like many reality stars, she absorbed the criticism, hoping it would fade. But it didn't. Instead, it followed her. Into her home, onto her phone, and into some of the most sensitive moments of her life. Pregnancy became less about joy and anticipation, and more about defense and justification. Eventually, something changed. Emily reached a breaking point. In a world where silence is often mistaken for guilt, Emily decided to speak. And when she did, her message was clear, firm, and unapologetic. She clapped back, not with insults, but with truth. Emily reminded fans that 90 Day Fiancé is not a documentary. It is a television show. Scenes are edited, storylines are shaped, moments are chosen for impact, not accuracy. What viewers see is a fraction of reality, filtered through production decisions designed to create drama. She addressed the body shaming directly. Pregnancy changes bodies. That is not a flaw, it is biology. Emily spoke openly about how damaging it is to see women criticized for not bouncing back fast enough, especially while growing and sustaining life. She refused to apologize for weight gain, stretch marks, or exhaustion. Then came the topic that fans love to weaponize: her living situation. Emily explained that living with her parents was not a sign of failure. It was a choice rooted in support, stability, and family values. In many cultures around the world, multi-generational households are normal, even celebrated. The idea that independence only looks one way, she argued, is deeply flawed. But perhaps the most powerful part of Emily's response was her honesty about mental health. She admitted that constant criticism had affected her, that reading cruel comments while pregnant was emotionally draining, that there were moments of self-doubt, moments when the noise became overwhelming. But she also shared how she learned to draw boundaries, to protect her peace and prioritize her children. Emily's clapback resonated far beyond the 90-Day Fiancé fan base. Women began sharing their own stories, stories of being judged for their bodies, for their pregnancies, for their choices. Mothers spoke about the impossible standards placed on them to be perfect caregivers, perfect partners, and perfect individuals, all while being criticized for asking for help. What Emily unintentionally sparked was a larger conversation about how society treats mothers, especially mothers in the public eye. Reality TV thrives on strong reactions. It creates heroes and villains. But Emily's experience exposed how quickly entertainment can turn into dehumanization. While male cast members often escape with lighter criticism, women, particularly mothers, bear the brunt of public judgment. Emily's pregnancies became symbols. Symbols that critics used to project frustration, bias, and internalized misogyny. But instead of allowing that narrative to define her, Emily reclaimed it. Today, Emily continues to share her life on her own terms. She shows the highs and lows of motherhood, the challenges of marriage, the realities of raising children while navigating public scrutiny. And while criticism hasn't disappeared, her response to it has changed. She no longer explains herself to strangers. She no longer apologizes for existing. Emily's story is not about being perfect. It's about being human in a world that often forgets reality stars are real people. Her clapback wasn't just a reaction, it was a boundary. A declaration that motherhood is not a performance, and pregnancy is not an invitation for judgment. As audiences continue to consume reality television, Emily's experience serves as a reminder. Every comment has weight, every opinion has impact, and behind every screen is a person navigating life the best way they know how. In the end, Emily didn't just clap back at fans, she stood up for herself. She stood up for mothers, and she reminded the world that empathy should never be optional.